No,
sucks, and
absolutely
you don't
not.
have control.
But the players have so much more say in sports, which I'm fine with. You have players' unions, you have things, but to act like it's okay for Jimmy Butler to pout and withhold his services, or for any player to say, I ain't doing anything going here, all right. But then a team makes a trade with a player, and then that's an issue, that's a problem.
Yeah, is it okay what Jimmy Butler's doing?
No one's buying that. That's why so many people have soured on the NBA versus everything else. It's because of these attitudes.
Yeah. Do you have this attitude more in the NBA than anywhere else, you think?
Yeah.
Well, the NBA and wide receivers.
No, because...
Well, and wide receivers.
Well, not even wide receivers.
I'm kidding,
because
kind of.
they can't... You don't see that much in the NFL. Like, you want to have balance. You want to have a say. That's why there's player unions. That's why contracts have changed. That's why there's more guaranteed money in contracts in sports, why football is pushing for more guarantees. That's a part of the business plan. You don't want one side or the other just straight running everything. And that goes for most businesses, right? You, as an employee, you do want some benefits, and
it's also why you're so handsomely compensated.
But these NBA players that are like trying to cry, woe is me, how could they do that to Luka? Yeah, they did it to Luka. Oh my gosh, all he gets to do is now be able to face the LA Lakers. What a terrible thing that just happened.
Yeah. It's also part of why, and I'm not telling you the only reason, but part of why you are so handsomely compensated. Right? It's tumultuous. It's a short window. How much do you think, for this modern day slavery that Dennis Schroeder's going through, how much do you think he's being compensated annually?
He's made a nice living.
He's making $13 million this year. It doesn't sound like slavery to me. There's a lot of ways to get your point across, and I understand that he would sit here and explain to you why it is, and that you don't have control over where you're going to be. But when you sign that contract, you kind of gave up that control, right? When you sign that contract, you give your professional, I don't want to say rights, because that's not the right word, but in essence, somewhat it is. You give up that flexibility. How about that? Do you become a commodity? Yeah, we all are commodities, dude. You and I are commodities. I don't care what you're doing today at your job. If you work for someone, you're a commodity. And if they decide that you're not worth it anymore, they're going to let you go, or you can go somewhere else unless you've got a contract that says you can't. You and I can't go across town right now. Well, you can. Right? When you sign a contract to make $13 million a year, you understand that, you know what, I might get traded to Dallas, or to Orlando, or to Detroit, or to the Lakers. It is part of the business. And to say that we can't create a trade deadline, yeah, did the trade deadline, look, man, I don't know who won a damn game this week. I don't. Other than I know that the Nets beat the Rockets last night because they scored 6 points in about a second and a half in a crazy way. He's right in that respect. I don't know who won a damn game. I think the Celtics beat the Cavaliers yesterday too. Right? But I know,
okay.
But I know about the trades, and way more people are talking about the freaking trades than talked about a Nets Rockets game.
This is it's not just the future of the NBA and the owners thinking, well, we need to make sure there's a star in LA. What this trade has done has given life back to a product that people were sour on, and even if it's for a week, you take it because you're looking for those moments.
And it's
not
weak.
Start to finish. You're looking for headline moments, whether you're college basketball early in the season, the NBA throughout the year, and you have that right now. And you're doing that when there is a Super Bowl on Sunday, and people want to talk the NBA.
All right, when we get back, I got some comments from you on the NIL bill, and he was drafted to play quarterback. He got hurt and didn't play quarterback. Another guy played quarterback, played it really well, but that dude wants to play quarterback. He wants his shot. He's not ready to sit around. We'll get into that next. Hey, Valentine's Day is next week. Planning on taking that special someone out. Make sure your vehicle looks respectable and tip-top shape. If your car's in need of a life-saving cleanup or even just a detailing, then you had better reach out to my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Why? Because they're the best. They go above and beyond. Make sure your car looks and smells and feels new Since you are probably busy making all those big arrangements, they'll make it easy for you. It's what they do. They go to you. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home or your office. Best in the city because, well, they are best in the city. On-the-spot automotive detailing comes to you. They bring their mobile unit out to wherever it works for you. You're in the office, they're in the parking lot. You're working out of the house, they're in your driveway. They will detail your vehicle. When they're done, you go outside, your vehicle looks, it feels, it smells like the day you took it home. Remember how fun it was to drive your car when it was brand new? You could have that new car feel without that new car price. It's a great gift, too, if you're still bouncing around looking for, what should I do for my sweetie for Valentine's Day? On-the-spot automotive detailing, it's all right there online. Book and buy at otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
As my mom says, Oregon. I believe it to be pronounced Oregon. Can't take the New York out of her. Oregon and Michigan. Is that today? Is that today? That's a big one. My nephew at Oregon and my daughter. So the primos go at each other. He got her in football. Who do you like in that? Oregon at Michigan. Michigan by 8.5. Chrysler Arena. I mean, that's a good one to watch. 4:30 in the afternoon. I can watch that while I'm prepping for the game tonight, right?
Yes, you can.
All right. Oregon and Michigan. 24th ranked Wolverines. 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Told you about the Senate bill to give NIL money to New Mexico and New Mexico State. Mike says no on NIL dollars, Jeff Alil. I heard that last week. Employees of those two universities were told there was likely no money for raises, yet you're going to give millions of dollars to amateur student athletes? Why can't they do both? Again, why are we do you feel, so Mike, do you feel like if you do this, you're taking money away from the employees? Do I feel employees at the university should get raises? I do. I don't know what their salaries are in relation to everybody else, but certainly should get cost of living raises. And I don't know, how people are compensated in relation to where they should be. And I want everybody to get theirs. Is this exclusive? I mean, do you feel like if you're giving JJ, if you're putting $2.5 million in the NIL funds for these two universities, that's taking money away from the faculty and staff?
No, because it's the classic, well, if we do this, we can't do that. And that's not the way life works, not the way it should work. This is an entirely different discussion.
Why can't you do both, Mike? I mean, tell me why. Now, you got to get a champion to go say, hey, put $2.5 million into the fund and give the faculty and the staff a raise at these two universities. Like, there's a surplus of money right now. I will say it again. We're the richest poor state in America. It can't be every nickel goes to this or that. Do we have problems? Yeah, dude. We need to fight crime. We need to address addiction and mental health and homelessness and education. Absolutely. Are those priorities as opposed to NIL? Yes, 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 and yes. And I got to believe that all of those people who are sponsoring that bill would agree with you. Now, on top of that, why can't we also, and we can, help out with NIL, help out with other projects, find capital money for the stadium. Like, tell me why we can't do all of these things as opposed to none of them, which is kind of what we're doing.
Because it's a lot of, well, this is the way it's been done, so I'm going to continue to do it this way.
Yeah. All right, Richard's in on the new football general manager. Jeff Eck can't do all that heavy lifting by himself. This new GM better be looking at everything from the trainers to the facilities, the broadcasters, the band cheerleaders, and the chappies. No stone should be left unturned when it comes to figuring out how to get Lobo football turned around. All right. I'm going to guess he's concerned more about his quarterback defensive line than he is about the dancers, but okay.
Yeah, that ridiculous pregame show has held them back for a long time now.
You know what? It's a pretty good point. Yeah, it's a pretty good point. Big win by your Bruins last night, Jefferson. UCLA last night beat Michigan State at Pauley Pavilion 63-61.
See what happens when they got to travel to Cali?
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a vacation. By the way, not just Big Ten stuff. Forget what day it was, but I tuned in and Syracuse was down like 25-2 at Stanford.
Is that right? Yeah. That's a league game going from upstate New York to the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah, about that Big Ten. It's also the random ACC teams you have.
No, but he's not worried about it. But he's like, they're all going to deal with it.
It's like, geez.
Yeah. It says you're a big win by Bruins last night, Jefferson. You haven't been belly aching as much after games. It's amazing what happens when you win. That's from Rod. It says P.S.
That's why I was like, oh, Jeff's got a little pep in his step this morning.
Yeah.
Good job last night.
Yeah. No, I won. I put on the pink. By the way, because it's going to be 70 degrees, and I felt a little springy. I went pink. I'll go back to the grays and darks tomorrow. It says, P.S. Boy, I sure hope the first thing on this new Lobo football general manager's plate is sitting down with Pope Joy Hall honchos and making sure they aren't competing with each other, especially now with Pope Joy's own parking lot decimated. I assume Pope Joy patrons now will be fighting Lobo fans for the same spaces and other lots and the same shuttles. That's right. Everybody's got their thing, man. Rod's thing is we can't have any other events scheduled the same day as a Lobo athletics event. That the city of 1 million people is not big enough to handle that. All right, JJ, when we get back, I'll do these when we get back. I got a bunch of Lobo women's basketball comments. When we get back, how are they going to handle spotting the football? Let me just tell you something. In a world that we're landing rockets on the moon and bringing them back and landing them back in their little container, in a world of AI and getting energy from the stars and all the technology we got, we're spotting football like the way we're spotting footballs and measuring 10 yards with 2 sticks and a chain.
The way Billy Bob does it, Yap on Saturday is the way they do it in the NFL.
100% the same way. So how are they going to change that going forward? The NFL is talking technology that you want to know about next. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This message is sponsored by Keller's Farm Stores. If you're catching the big game at home, make sure to stop by Keller's Farm Store. This weekend only, score marinated chicken wings.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth.
What's the acronym for the video replay soccer?
VAR.
VAR. VAR. Video.
People looking at a replay screen.
Yeah, VAR. VAR. What's it stand for? Video assist replay.
So it's essentially what every league does.
It's replay.
Every official looking at a monitor.
I've got robots calling strikes in baseball now, right? We got a robot strike zone. There's all kinds of technology. And in football, we spot the ball, and I understand the intricacies, and I'm not sure that I think any technology is going to fix this completely. But when is a knee or an elbow down, and where is the ball and the front end of the ball, and you got, some middle-aged guy runs up and puts his foot in the ground, and that's where the ball is. And usually we're cool with it, unless we're not, like Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game. And I don't know how we're going to fix this. And I don't know, you're going to give me all kinds of technologies. This one's never going to be perfect. A couple of days ago, there was an NFL executive claim that technology cannot be used to spot the ball. The commissioner saying, oh, yeah, it will. There were a lot of controversial spots, of course, Josh Allen's. Goodell said that right now there are limitations on how much technology can do that, and technological advances are not as useful in football as they are in other sports. Shape of the ball, that sort of thing. He says, I do think the technology will exist sometime in the future. Look, JJ, to me, this is impossible. This is one of those where everything has a solution, but I don't know how this one does.
GPS? Honestly,
okay,
what are we talking about?
But when? How are you gonna marry? Like, you could put a chip in a ball. Okay, let's just say fine. Are you putting it in what becomes the front tip or the back tip of the ball? Okay, guy's got the ball in one that you say that the nose of the football has to cross. All right, but if you put them in both, so chips in both, and you know how many footballs they go through, by the way?
A ton.
They run through these footballs all the time, right? But okay, fine. So you put them on. Here's your game balls. How are you marrying that without putting a chip in a guy's knee pads or elbow? How are you marrying that to when his knee or elbow or whatever hits the ground?
There's still going to be, you said, timing elements of it that are not going to be perfect, but this stems back from because the NFL got it wrong, even though there's not indisputable evidence that Josh Allen got. Why? Yeah. Have you seen the sideline view? You can't see the football. So we're just assuming he got the first down. But that's the game. It's assuming everything. And now that the NFL blatantly has rigged things for Kansas City, it's got to be, we got to fix it. But you're bringing up valid points of, all right, when is that the no knee, elbow, head, shoulders, knees, and toes are down where the football is.
And that's the human piece in this game is always going to be there. And the best tool you have is replay. And in a scrum like that, where did his forward progress land, and where was the football? And he had his back was to it, and I mean, to me, it's pretty clear. But okay, I can listen to the argument that there, you look down, where exactly is the football? Their best tool, better for this particular issue, better than putting a damn chip in the football, is replay, and they just got to get it right. And this is where fans are outraged. They feel that the two calls that went the Chiefs' way, the ball that was caught it was Worthy, right? That looked like, that ball hit the ground. Are we arguing that?
No.
The argument is, did he have control when the ball hit the ground? His hands were on top of the football when it hit the ground. Like to me, that was an incomplete pass. Do you feel that way?
If the ball doesn't move, it can still hit the ground.
Understood. But if it helped him gain control, then it's incomplete.
I think the bigger question was who had control.
I think that was a big question there, too. A huge question. I just don't know how this, and I've listened to this for years. How on earth are they going to put a chip in all the footballs? But what if you're carrying the football and the back end of the football doesn't cross, but that's where the chip is, but the front end of the football clearly crossed? I don't know. The chip says it was back.
I think it's a valid conversation. We've talked about it for a long time of how you're measuring things in sport, but it's easy for people to say lasers, chips, GPS. Yeah. But then there's the element of a player being down. Yeah. And how does that factor?
Because it's not just one element here. Yeah. In baseball, the ball either crosses the strike zone or not, right? There's no elements of your knees got to be down.
It hits the line or it doesn't.
Or it doesn't. Right. In soccer, it went over the damn line or it didn't, right? This is not just one element. It's not just, the ball went over the line. Yeah, but his knee was down before or his elbow was down before. Where did the ball... to me, there is no solving this problem. Well, we want to make it better. But does a chip in a football make it better? with some laser on some stick on a side of a field? Like one of the greatest inventions, there's two great inventions to me in sports. One of them, I'll tell you, two that made television viewing exponentially better. One of them is the yellow line to give you where you got to go for a first down, right? And the other one is the golf tracker to track a golf ball when they hit it, right? That's technology that made life better. I don't know that this does. I just don't know how you're going to tell me, well, the ball crossed the line. Yeah, but his knee was freaking down a yard behind, and then he fell forward. Well, the ball crossed the line, and the chip says, what are we doing? And I know why we're doing it. I know where it's coming from. I understand it. I just don't know that I see how ever this is going to work. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Man, you guys are all over. I got ton of texts regarding what we've been talking about today. Talking about the NIL bill, talking about salaries, talking about modern day slavery. I want to hit all of these when we get back. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming this morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it. You make my heart better.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM.
Touchdown! The playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Your 8 Factor exclusive home for Super Bowl 59. Coverage starts Sunday here on the Sports Animal, 8 o'clock with Tailgate Talk. Then Westwood One's coverage leads up to kickoff of the Chiefs and Eagles in Super Bowl 59 at 4:30. Exclusively on the Sports Animal. 2 Men On is in New Orleans. You can catch Van and Fred 4 o'clock today. And what day is today? Wednesday already? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Coverage is presented by Cornish Law Injury Lawyers, serving New Mexico for 5 generations, and airport parking, safe, secure, and the best price to park at the Sunport. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. All right, we've been on a lot of topics this morning. J.J., we talked about the bill that is proposed by 3 state senators, Senate Bill 280, whatever the heck it was, 260, what is it? Whatever it was, 68. that would give $2.5 million to both UNM and New Mexico State for NIL funds. And you're in on the text line on this. It says, morning, fellas. While I was in Lubbock a couple of weeks ago, I learned that Tech got the #1 collegiate women's softball pitcher from Stanford for $1.5 million a year. Times are changing. Great show as always. It's from Steve. Yeah. Times are changing. There was somebody who said, no on the NIL. We need to do this and this, and teachers need money and salaries need money. This says we need doctors and nurses first and foremost. Okay, yeah. Do we need doctors more than we need a point guard? Yes. Nobody's arguing that. Can we have both? And I think the answer is yes. There was somebody who said employees at UNM have been told they weren't in New Mexico State, they're not getting any raises. And I'm like, well, why can't they? This is a former UNM employee. They rank in the bottom 10% nationally for salaries. Well, let's address that too. I mean, to say, well, let's not solve this problem because we can't solve that problem. All right, well, why can't we start addressing some damn problems and issues? Is NIL a problem? I don't know if it's a problem. Is it an issue? If you're going to sponsor athletics at the state university level, do you want to be competitive? If the answer is yes, you want to do it well, then the next step is how do we do that? And you must acknowledge the fact that times are changing and you need NIL. That's all. Nobody's saying take money from teachers or fire departments or homeless projects or mental health. People are saying, hey, let's put some into this. That's all.
That is all, but it's still the battle when it comes to public opinion, as you see.
Dennis Schroeder of the Golden State Warriors said the trade deadline in the NBA is like modern-day slavery. This says, hey, Schroeder, welcome to the real world for almost all Americans, where your boss tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, except most of us aren't making millions of dollars. Okay. Appreciate all the response. Keep them coming at 505-246-0610. Let me give you this. This came in. It says, good morning, Jeff. My name is Brad. I listen to your show a few times a week, and I love it, man. Never reached out, called in, or anything like that. I just enjoy listening when I'm driving around town. The reason for this email is just to get the word out about a Chiefs watch party we're having. He says, I started Chiefs Kingdom New Mexico chapter 5 to 6 years ago. It was really small. We've grown, obviously, really big in the last few years. Can't seem to figure out why, LOL. Always, we are registered, or it says, anyways, we're registered with the Kansas City Chiefs. And Silva Lanes is the official home for the Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom New Mexico chapter. We'd love to invite you and any of your listeners to join us Sunday at Silva Lanes. We meet there every game to support our back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Not sure if you can give a shout-out over the radio, sure. Let other Chiefs fans know about our watch party. We'd be so grateful. Either we celebrate together or we hurt together. It's a bunch of really good people. We'll be giving away many Chiefs prizes donated to Silva Lanes from distributors. It's free to get in. Okay, there you go. Says, I've never done anything like this before, but love the Chiefs. So there you go. You and JJ, it says you and JJ are welcome to join, as are any of your colleagues. Once again, thank you. As long as they come up with a solution for spotting the ball after the Super Bowl, that's fine. He says, as long as they come up with a solution for spotting the ball after the Super Bowl, we need the refs' Chiefs eye to help stop Saquon. Let's LOL, let's go Chiefs, and rock on, Sports Animal. Man, when you get the benefit of the call, too, you appreciate it, don't you?
Yes, you do.
It's good. It's good. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. He wants a fair shot to play quarterback. Let's talk some football when we get back. When does a rookie get his shot coming off an injury? Especially when the guy behind him had a season like he did, or in front of him now. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Lobo men tonight out at the Pit against Colorado State. 8:30 tip-off, 8 o'clock pregame over on News Radio KKOB. Last night at the Pit, JJ had the women 69-63 loss to Colorado State. 4th loss in a row for New Mexico. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. JJ, the Bucks have traded Chris Middleton to Siberia. No, I'm sorry, to the Wizards. A deal that sends Kyle Kuzma to Milwaukee. Bucks also sent a rookie, A.J. Johnson, and a pick swap to Washington. Does this make Milwaukee better?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Kyle Kuzma is going to be available, provide a little pop, looking for some scoring infusion off the bench, maybe in the starting lineup. Chris Middleton just has been held back with injuries over the last few years.
Chris Middleton was the number 2 there when Giannis re-signed that first time. I mean, he was right. He was a big guy in their push for a championship. Now the Bucks sit in 5th place in the East, and so they sent Chris Middleton out and have just made a trade. So the Bucks trade Chris Middleton to the Wizards, who are horrible, for Kyle Kuzma. That happened today, just this morning. 505-246-0610. Other stuff. Kevin Durant downgraded to doubtful for their game, the Suns game against Oklahoma City today. There's all kinds of speculation around will he be traded. He's got a left ankle sprain, according to the Suns. By the way, Durant in Oklahoma City, he spent 8 seasons there. That would have been a whole milestone, but who knows, man? He may go back and circle this. There's been talk on the Durant thing. Is it a bad look for him to go? Does it look like he's chasing a ring or whatever? First of all, he's already got that look attached to him. Like, where's the best chance for him to win? And right now, I don't know. The Suns are better in the standings.
The whole chasing a ring thing is just,
aren't they all?
It's just fodder for talk shows. It really is.
Aren't they all chasing
a ring?
Oh,
this guy cannot be number 4 on my top 5 players list because he did not stay in Siberia for 17 years and win a championship.
Yep. Okay. It's all such crap. I so totally agree with you. They're all chasing a ring, man.
LeBron sucks. You see him have to go join Miami? Okay.
Yep.
But he did.
Yep. That's what they're all doing. And none of them did it by themselves. LeBron didn't do it by himself, and Kobe didn't do it by himself, and Magic. Like they're all chasing rings and looking for the best situation to get another one or one. So, yes. All right. Super Bowl week. And I'll update you on any trades that happen while we're going. I think one of the biggest off-season stories, at least early off-season stories, is going to be what does Minnesota do with Sam Darnold? What are they going to do at quarterback? And are they going to franchise him? And if not, I think Sam Darnold gets paid either way. Either he's going to make $55 million on a franchise tag, or there's going to be a bidding war for Sam Darnold in the free agency.
It's the biggest off-season storyline,
right,
at the quarterback position.
Yeah,
because it could affect so many franchises.
You figure the Raiders are certainly in on it. The Saints would probably be in on, so I would assume. The Giants are going to draft one, I think. Is right. No.
The Giants could be on it because if you're the Giants, you have Tennessee and Cleveland. And you can talk to me all you want about Abdul Carter, the pass rusher from Penn State, the generational talent that Travis Hunter is. None of those players are going to matter if you don't have a quarterback. Quarterbacks should go 1 and 2 in this draft. And then if you're the New York Giants, you can take Travis Hunter and lob Sam Darnold call if he's a free agent.
If he's a free agent. But so will the Raiders. Right? There's a lot there. So what do the Vikings do? They've got J.J. McCarthy, who they drafted last year in the first round, number 10. I believe it was number 10. Then they had Sam Darnold. McCarthy gets hurt. Darnold goes off and has, well, in the middle of the season, and hell, in November, we're having a conversation. Should he be in the conversation for MVP? He was that good. Now, his last 2 games weren't great. Who is he? Is he the guy in the last 2 games, or is he the guy that was there to make you 14-3? Who's Sam Darnold? He was on the Rich Eisen show yesterday. Was J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy wants to play football. I don't blame J.J. McCarthy. He watched the rest of his class play football. The other 5 quarterbacks played football. Now, he was hurt. He didn't get benched. Michael Penix got to play. He looked good. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. I mean, they all did, right? Bo Nix. J.J. McCarthy said he's not heard anything definitive in his conversations with his head coach, Kevin O'Connell. And, quote, there's a lot of things that are certainly above my pay grade. This guy's got to stop saying that because none of it's above your pay grade, dude. It might be above your spot on the organizational chart, but it's not above your pay grade. Is that fair? They got to change that saying. It's above my spot on the organizational chart.
Spot in the organizational chart.
Don't you think that's a better way to say? Stop it. It's not above your pay grade. Y'all are making more than those guys who make the decision.
The athletes have the pay grade.
Yeah. He says, all I could ask for is a fair opportunity. That's the one thing I feel like everybody's given, and it's fundamental. When money gets involved, things get complicated and reps get skewed, and there's different things that come into the whole political world that everyone talks about. I have to focus on controlling what I can control. My feelings don't matter. I'm not getting any grace. There's no sympathy. This is the big leagues, end quote. All right. I mean, yes, you're right. Your feelings don't matter. This is the big leagues. There is no, yes, and yes. No, fair answer. By the way, March 4, which is a month away from yesterday, and this is a short month, is the deadline for teams to use the franchise tags. So that's when you'll get an idea what the Vikings are thinking. Look, I got no problem with a dude saying I want to play. I got no problem with Sam Darnold saying, you know what? Yeah, I want my shot. None. And he understands where it is, and he's right, dude. Yes, there is no sympathy, and nobody gives a damn about your feelings, and this is the big leagues, and it's about money, and yes. Attaboy, I appreciate your maturity. Now, can you go out and win the job? My gut tells me Minnesota's going to franchise tag Sam Darnold and have these two compete, and if it works, and if McCarthy beats him out, yeah, you're paying $55 million for a backup, but it all kind of falls right into salary cap line anyway, with because you're paying rookie. Your other guy's a rookie contract. Do you get the feeling that's where they're going? Or because most people tell me they're going to release him, that he's going to be released. He's going to be a free agent.
Well, they don't have to release him.
Right. That's why I'm not sign him. Right, he's going to be. I
have cooled off on that stance a little bit. Like, I thought for sure you'd franchise tag him because it's better to have more than less at the quarterback position. Yeah. And if you don't end up playing J.J. McCarthy this year, if he can't beat out Sam Darnold, all right, he's on the Jordan Love trajectory. And
which isn't bad, but
it's not bad. But for Minnesota, I think you trust Kevin O'Connell because I know it was a veteran quarterback, but he did really good with Kirk Cousins, what he did with Sam Darnold. So you know that, all right, you believe it's going to work with J.J. McCarthy, but also the level that he played at, the way you played at, I think it's going to really come down to the very end for that decision.
Which is March 4th. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Daniel Jones was there. Could they bring Daniel Jones back? And you're like, dude, stop with the Daniel Jones. No, I'm not telling you this guy is your future. But if you're going to go in and say, all right, we're not going to go with Sam Darnold, so we're going to let Sam Darnold go, and I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy with the assumption that he's going to win the job, you better have a backup plan. And your backup plan then, do you try to bring Daniel Jones back in?
Absolutely.
You okay with that plan? For a team that just went 14-3 with that dude, that you're saying, yeah, good, but we don't need you. It's hard to walk away from a guy from 14-3, but let me give you an example where it's happened before. Okay? There was a few years ago that a team went to the Super Bowl. Well, twice this has happened in the last decade. Teams that went to the Super Bowl, which is further than Minnesota went, lost in the Super Bowl and realized, man, we got to change the quarterback. The Rams did it with Jared Goff, went out and traded him for Sam Darnold. The Niners did it with Jim Garoppolo, right? They went to the Super Bowl and then they went out and got Trey Lance. Now, that didn't work. So it's not completely unheard of. We have a really, really, really successful season and walk away from your quarterback.
Yeah. And I think where it isn't a conversation where I'm like, oh, you have to franchise tag him. Like, Sam Darnold showed he was good, but it's also just 1 year. And then you're looking at McCarthy and you're like, all right, this will be the future, the extended future of the Vikings. And I do think it's going to be a tough decision, but I've kind of cooled off. Initially, I was right there with him. Like, oh, you franchise tag him. You figure out it's better to have dude you can win at a high level. Rookie has to, the second-year quarterback has to sit another year. So be it. But I really think with how the season ended, it's going to be a tight conversation to the wire with Minnesota making that choice.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Hey, Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's good, Mike? Let me do that again. Hello, Mike.
So much. Yo, thank you so much for taking my call. And I really like this topic of the Sam Darnold, the Vikings. So think about it like the Mavericks thought about it. I mean, Darnold had a great season, but, dude, he did not win. He did not look good at the end of the year, and he did not look good in the playoffs. And you've seen that movie before. You've seen that from Sam Darnold. My opinion is the Vikings fall in on J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold's an afterthought. See what you can get for him. You've got Daniel Jones behind him who you can bring back, but that, I don't even know about that because, see, Darnold has a market, I think, somewhere, but who's really going to want Sam Darnold? I mean, I feel like he's kind of like, he had a great season, but to me, he really feels like he's in the Mac Jones, like a backup to somebody category. And the thing about it is because Daniel Jones, it's like Darnold's going to have a price tag that's going to be so high, something like Dak Prescott, where you're like, okay, man, this guy is a regular season warrior and a playoff, pancake. So it's like, I don't know if Sam Darnold has that big of a market. I think they had a good season, but the Vikings all in on J.J. McCarthy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Daniel Jones be the one that gets picked up by some other team like the Raiders or something instead of Sam Darnold because it's going to be so much less money. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
All right. So first of all, it doesn't matter. There's no value to the Vikings for Sam Darnold because your option is to sign him or let him go. You're not trading him and getting value. He's not under contract to you. So if you decide to not sign him or franchise him, he's free agent. There is no value. So what you can get for him is there's nothing. Who's going to be interested in him? The Giants, in your scenario, would be very interested in him. The Raiders absolutely are interested in him. Seattle might be interested in him. New Orleans might be interested in him. Pittsburgh.
There's teams that would be interested that won't be there. Like the Saints can't make it work.
Yeah, you're probably right on the Saints.
Derek Carr is their quarterback. And here's the thing.
The Jets?
I am not, and I don't buy into just because he's a free agent quarterback, he's getting top 5 money. I think there's going to be people really interested.
No,
but
not top 5 money.
But that's just what people are saying. Oh, he's going to be too expensive. He's not making $55, $60 million a year off of 1 year. Now, people will be interested because they said, all right, you can win with Sam Darnold. He's experienced. You can grow up. He was in some bad spots, and he's not going to land in a great spot. But I could see franchises looking at him in that Baker Mayfield territory of a contract and being very interested this offseason. This is not going to be.
Yeah.
I will be shocked if he signs $55, $60 million contract.
And that would be what he would get for the franchise tag. Now, I think there's going to be a little bit of a bidding war, which is going to up his value. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's north of where Baker Mayfield is, because if you say, all right, he's released, and the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders, and Tennessee's going to get a quarterback. Cleveland can get a quarterback if they want. All right, let's just say those three. You think Seattle gets in on it?
Could kick the tires, but I wouldn't have them. Like they'd be a dark horse.
Okay.
On that list.
All right. Or Pittsburgh. How about Pittsburgh? Yeah. All right. So let's say Pittsburgh, the Raiders, the Giants, and the Jets all get in. All of a sudden, there's a little bit of a bidding contest, and it gets up. That's why I think it gets north of where Baker Mayfield is. But you're right. He's not a $50 million a year guy.
A team that I heard thrown out the other day? Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
So
yeah. Yeah, look, man, crap happens all the time that you go, whoa, I didn't see that happening. Yes. That's where, but to Mike's point, and I get it where you guys are, and I'm starting to soften on my stance too on the franchise tag. If you're Minnesota, you know what, we drafted this guy. Darnold was good, but didn't perform well at the end. I'm going to tell you, I think he's more the guy that we saw all season than the guy we saw in the last 2 games. But that's going to be the value that he is to the Raiders. My gut tells me he's going to the Raiders. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. I'll keep you the latest on the trade deadline. You can get in on it. This is a great topic. Actually, I really like that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Nick, the guys who called the Utah State game are going to be the announcers on FS1 tonight. Nick Coop, just the play-by-play guy, just posted his walk down the ramp, the obligatory first time down the ramp video. Like, they're so amazed at this ramp. It's a ramp, dude. It is kind of cool, I guess, but kind of crazy. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. JJ, I just saw on the X a proposed trade. Not proposed by the teams, but Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland. Myles Garrett to the Colts for Anthony Richardson. You like that for either team? I mean, you love it for the Colts.
No.
No?
No.
Why?
I don't want to develop Anthony Richardson, who's already 2 years into his contract, when I could choose between Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders.
No, if I'm the Colts, I said. I love it for the Colts.
Of course. That's a bad trade for the Browns.
It's a bad trade for the Browns. Yeah. Yeah. Why not be able to start over?
Yeah, why take a quarterback that still has to develop,
Yep.
and he's deeper in his rookie contract versus drafting a rookie quarterback?
Agree. All right, 505-246-0610. Your emails this morning, as they are every morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Did you watch the golf league last night? Oh, wait, you were working last night. LA over Boston last night. Big. Big trade this morning. Bucks traded Chris Middleton to the Wizards. Kyle Kuzma comes back to Milwaukee. Watching the trade deadline and see if there's anything that comes in on Kevin Durant. You get Lobo basketball tonight over on News Radio KKOB. Lobos and Colorado State. All right. How much do you pay a kicker in the NFL, dude? How much should a kicker make? There's been a lot of jokes, and I don't even know if it's a joke, that the Cowboys' best player is their kicker. Brandon Aubrey is a stud. He made 89.4% of his field goals, 24 of 27 from 50 yards or longer. He had a 65-yarder. He's going into the final year of a 3-year deal, and he's in line for a record-setting extension for kickers. Now, 3 kickers have contracts that average at least $6 million. Harrison Butker is the Chiefs kicker. He averages $6.4 million. That's the most. Aubrey hired an agent, Todd France, who also is Dak Prescott's agent. Quote, Brandon Aubrey, I'm eligible for an extension, so it's up to my agent to go to the Cowboys and see if there's any interest in signing it there early. What's Brandon Aubrey worth to you? Dude's automatic. He's got an insane leg. He makes it look easy. But I'm watching kickers at some point
not
now.
$6 million, man.
It's not, right?
Kickers, to me, are like bullpen arms. Never sign them to extended contracts.
So you wouldn't sign him early? Or would you sign him early? What's he worth? $4 million?
What is the average NFL salary? I wouldn't do it, man.
So you wouldn't pay him above average?
Pick up these dudes like Zane Gonzalez kicking field goals with Commanders in the playoffs.
Well, there's young studs coming out of college every year.
I also would never draft one, because then you get in the Jake Moody situation. 49ers starts missing field goals. You're like, what a wasted pick.
Yeah, but some of these guys, like you get a Justin Tucker, and you got him for years, right?
Yeah, and it was awesome.
And there was one.
And now he can't hit a field goal, and look at where
now,
he's at off the field.
Yeah, now he's like the latest rub and tug guy that's supposed getting accused everywhere. I think you need a good kicker, a reliable kicker, and you think there's reliable kickers everywhere. And I think, in some respects, I don't want to say they're like running backs because you keep finding running backs, but dude, everybody who needs a kicker seems to find a kicker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody who needs to find a kicker seems to find a kicker. This guy's really good. And like any other position, there's guys who are at the top and guys who are, well, not at the top. I'm not sure I'd give him $6 million, but I would certainly sign him and extend him for above the average. So what did you decide was the average?
I have not looked at it.
Okay. All right. I would give him more than whatever I think the average is. I absolutely would. I think as many games that come down to the...
Okay, the top kickers in the league.
Average. All right, so the average salary is $860,000. That can't be right, can it? Kickers' contracts aside, no. Harrison Butker's got a $25 million deal. All right, so here we go. So let's just go right to the middle. Matt Prater, Cardinals, $3.75 million. All right, there's a bunch of kickers making north of $5 million. Chris Boswell, Tyler Bass, Jason Myers, Dustin Hopkins, Fairbairn, Gano. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Well, guaranteed money, all those deals, guys are making north of $5 million. Almost all have north of $12 million guaranteed. 11 million for Fairbairn. The rest of them are, well, one guy's got $5 million guaranteed. So, dude, he's a $5 million a year kicker, $5.5 million. He is. He just is. Market value. Which is crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's just the way it is. Boys and girls, I know you're not big. I know you're not a kicker, but go be a kicker. Go make some money. Soccer players, go be a kicker. Hey, go over to Twin Peaks for lunch. Step up your lunch game at Twin Peaks. They got light yet hearty combos. They put them together for you starting at $7.99. Savory soups, crisp salads, a variety of sandwiches to satisfy your every craving. So enjoy your next lunch break over at Twin Peaks. And they're recruiting. If you're looking for a job where you can have a ton of fun and make great money, Twin Peaks is the team for you. They're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks. Text WORK4TP to 85000 to apply. But it's a pretty fun place to work. And don't forget, through the rest of this month, they've got late night flatbreads. Twin Peaks' hand stretched flatbreads are coming in hot. So you can close out your night after the game tonight with a win. Their favorite flatbreads are available during late night hours, and it's a steal. You can get over there and score one for just $8, 10 o'clock to close, Sunday through Thursday. And don't forget National Margarita Day on February 22nd over at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks for lunch, for happy hour, for a job, for your bourbon, and for your late night flatbreads. Get over to Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're
524-60610 says Jeff and JJ. It's only been one game, but I don't see how the Mavs are better after trading Luka. Nico Harrison has to be the most hated man in Dallas right now. It's from Ronnie.
Anthony Davis has to play a game first.
That would give you a better view, wouldn't it? He did not play last night. The Mavericks lose in Philadelphia, 118-116. Kyrie Irving had 34, and Joel Embiid played. You got to see them with Anthony Davis first before you make and a couple of times before you make a call, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Did you see the end of the Nets Rockets?
Little cray.
I mean to tell you, Rockets are up 97-96. Keon Johnson hits a three. Actually, it had to be 97. What's 99? 97-93. Keon Johnson hits a three to get to within one. And the Rockets like roll the ball in or throw the threw it away. Threw the ball away. It ends up in the hands of D'Angelo Russell, who splashed a three, and they win the game 99-97. I mean, a brutal loss to a bad team on the road by the Rockets. All right, 505-246-0610. Howie, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Howard?
Well, can't you hear it now, guys? Tony Romo on the call next year, bragging about Brandon Aubrey's newly signed $9 million a year kicker contract.
$9 million.
Setting up from 63 yards out with 2 seconds left to win the game 21-20, as the Cowboys improved to 3-10.
Yep, I can hear it. What a great kick, Jim. He's the best kicker we've ever seen, Jim. I mean, he's got an unbelievable leg, Jim.
He's like the Red Rifle. I've never seen anybody kick a prettier ball.
Thank you, Jerry. Yep.
I'm waiting. You know what? I'm beginning to think I'm 63, soon to be 64. Will I ever see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl again?
It's a fair question. It's really a fair question.
I better find a fountain of youth if I'm gonna. Have a good day, guys.
All right, see you. First of all, stick around a while. Look, man. They're not winning next year. I mean, I don't think they are. A team that's come out of nowhere recently to win a championship. Like, you didn't see it coming. You can see it. Denver, but not really. Right? The Nuggets? No.
Oh, out of nowhere to win a championship?
Yeah, like teams have made good runs. Like Minnesota made a really, didn't see Minnesota, but they lose in the first round of the playoffs. But I mean, Eagles and Chiefs.
Not in the NFL in a while.
All right, not in the NBA in a while. Toronto. But they came out of nowhere, but made, and you always say there's never really been a mid-season trade that led to that, and that would be the one, right?
That was not mid-season.
It wasn't mid-season? Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors? But I'll give you that. Nobody really saw that one coming. Okay. I mean, you got teams that make runs, but really never. But
NHL?
Yeah. The eighth seed comes out of nowhere in hockey.
Yeah, they traded him in July. Kawhi.
Really?
Yes.
So it was an off-season?
It was a summer trade.
I thought that was a mid-season deal.
No?
Okay. All right. Let me get you these. Global women's basketball lost last night, 69-63. James says the Phillies are in a world of hurt, Jeff, a world of hurt. They could potentially fall to the 6 or even 7 hole as early as tonight. A win at UNLV is kind of a must now if the Lady Lobos want to climb out of the play-in game. JJ, if a win at UNLV is a must, we got a problem.
Yes, you do.
This one's from Dan. It says regular women, Jeffrey and Juan Jose. For years, the Lady Lobos were able to take average players from Albuquerque's northeast heights that seemed to develop superpowers running down that Wise Pies ramp. Didn't matter how highfalutin the opponent was, they were going to have to play their best to beat the Lady Lobos. And even then, it might not be enough. Unfortunately, those powers are missing this season. Lady Lobos have been as helpless inside their gym as outside of it. If they ever want to get this thing turned around, they have to once again find a way to become more than regular women on Bob King Court. JJ, they got to win at home, right? I mean, they just got to win at home. How many? They lost 4 in a row at home?
They have.
And 4 in a row overall, right? You're at a fork now, and I don't know that the fork turn. Maybe you're the fork after UNLV because you're playing the best team in this league. And I don't know that you can go in there and expect to win. But this season, and maybe you've already hit the fork. I don't know. This season is going to turn one way or the other. They started with 4-1 in the league.
Turned.
It's turned. Is there a turning back?
There's a way to be competitive again. I think they were playing a little over their skis early in conference play, and crashing back down to earth, I think, a lot faster than people anticipated. But it's, from a fan standpoint, I understand the frustration. It's frustrating, knowing these players and they're working hard, and I like a lot of the traits, but they haven't been able to come together. But this isn't shocking. I told you this team was going to be 500.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Like it was coming. This, with what they have to do to be successful and kind of the rut they're in overall versus the teams they're playing. And in the Mountain West, there's some really fantastic individual players in this league. And we saw it last night, and a lot of times Lobos step on the floor, they don't have the best player in the game.
Most times, don't you think?
And so that's where it is, so much on execution on both ends of the floor and finding a way to compete defensively. And, teams, they take away Cumberland. It should open things up, but if players don't hit shots like we saw last night, you get to the rim, you're missing at the basket despite going 11 of 22 from three. It's going to be frustrating.
They miss at the basket a lot.
Yeah.
They miss at the rim a lot. Yeah. This is from Jack. Can I vent, Jeffy? Sure. That's what we're here for. I was at a business Sunday. There was a big sign in their window. Said, so that our employees, families, and friends can watch the Super Bowl, we'll be closing at 3 p.m. on Sunday. First of all, why 3 p.m. when post time is until 4:30? And as you know, these things tend to slide. The puck likely won't hit the ice until closer to 5. Then 90% of the people in Albuquerque, New Mexico, don't give a rat's ass about these teams. Wonder how many times this business is closed so folks can watch Lobo football. You can argue even fewer folks care about them, but at least they're local. Jack, I'd argue Super Sunday is essentially a national holiday. I mean, everybody watches it. Like, nobody cares. You're going to go, whether you sit in at home or you watch the game at the party, like, people most of them don't have an Eagles or Chiefs affinity. Now, they may have a betting affinity, and that will certainly sway which way they feel about this game. But your wife, girlfriend, friend's girlfriend, wife, maybe even your friend, they don't give a damn. They're going to be part of a party. They want to see Kendrick Lamar. They want to see the commercials. And they want to be part of the event. So, yeah, Super Bowl Sundays, they're going to close on Sunday. Like, were you going to go there anyway? With all due respect, were you going to go to that business after 3 o'clock on Super Sunday? And I don't know what the business was. But, dude, if I'm a store, I'm probably shutting down on Super Sunday that afternoon, too, because nobody's coming by. More than half the country, it says, more than half the pot, which is amazing, at some point consumes the Super Bowl. It's insane. So I got no big problems with a company that, in fact, I would say thank you to them. Good for them for shutting it down. Kind of like the NIL thing. You know what? Good for you. Starting the conversation. All right, we'll wrap it up when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your whatever day today is. And still have time to take your calls and emails and texts at 505-246-0610. I want to tell you about International Protective Service. IPS is affordable private security. They protect my home. They watched my house for years. My neighbors now employ them. And they, you see them all around town, whether they're in your neighborhood or they're at your retail outlets, wherever you go. IPS is protecting people's properties, business, and homes. If you've been the victim of property crime, you get it. Police take too long to respond. There's just not enough of them to respond to all the calls. When it's you, when it's your property, when it's your home, when it's your business, you need a quick response. 7 minutes or less is the normal response time for IPS. They install alarms and camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. All of this raises the level of security around your business and your home. Question becomes, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. 505-897-2420 is their number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots?
Trade deadline tomorrow in the NBA. Luka and AD was a big deal, and the big name now, well, it's Jimmy Butler, but it's Kevin Durant. JJ, this is really interesting. All the talk is Kevin Durant to the Warriors. But according to The Athletic, the Dallas Mavericks are trying to land Kevin Durant. So after trading Luka and getting Anthony Davis, the report by Sam Amick and David Aldridge and Anthony Slater say that they are trying to find a way to get Kevin Durant to Dallas. They want to add him and have a new big three. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this, but they're trying to figure it out. Their general manager is Nico Harrison. And evidently he's got a relationship with Durant from his Nike days. If the Suns, who are in 10th place in the Western Conference, and they have Durant, open the door to a KD deal. Golden State, where Durant won a pair of NBA titles, has been floated around. Houston Rockets are out there as well. It was reported this morning by Chris Mannix initially from Sports Illustrated that Durant is doubtful to play in tonight's game against Oklahoma City. I'm convinced Kevin Durant's on the move. Before I read this, I was convinced he was going back to Golden State. I would love to see what Nico Harrison's got up his sleeve to somehow pull this off.
Well, you call Adam Silver and you say, all right, we did what y'all wanted.
We gave the Lakers
sent
a superstar.
Luka to the Lakers, right? The league, the business side of it, the entertainment side of it. You got what you wanted. Now can you help us get Kevin Durant? It's only taken me, 17 years of doing this to finally wrap my head around how sports works.
Yeah, now you get it. Kansas City is going to win because they get all the calls in the NFL.
Because they're told.
Right.
The officials are told to give Kansas City the call.
Right. And so in the league, told Dallas to trade Luka to Lakers.
It's like we need the next face of the NBA in LA. It's going to be Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Dowie
Doncic. Luka Doncic. Yeah. All right. Text line. Is Mike Bradbury the right coach for Lobo women's basketball? Is WNIT, which is now called what?
A WBIT.
All right. Is that good enough? It shows success, right? Or is Lobo women's basketball team invited to the WBIT based on attendance for payday alone? No, that's not how it works anymore. Yeah, go ahead and explain that. Yeah.
The WNIT for a long time was a 64-team field third-party entity on the women's side. 2 years ago, the NCAA came in and said, hey, we want to create something that's like the NIT where it's more merit-based, where you see the men's NIT, 32-team field, more merit-based. Now that the men's NIT is kind of off its rocker now with just getting power conference teams in there, but at least at this point, the WBIT is still a top 100 level tournament where, that would be a good step as opposed to the 64-team WNIT field.
Yeah. So there you go. That's that. Lobo women have lost 4 straight. They lose last night at home, 69-63 to Colorado State. Next up, you're going to be in Vegas this weekend, right?
Yes.
When do you go, Friday afternoon?
Yep.
Oh, you get Friday night in Vegas. Don't go too wild now.
You know me.
I mean, you can't drink water. He's got a big, giant jug of it right there. JJ knows he can drink water. Was that a day game, right?
3 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off. 2:30 per game here on the Sports Animal.
You charter on that one, or are you flying commercial?
Commercial, baby.
You go home that night, though?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the beauty of that one. That's the beauty of that trip. All right, what do you got to know? Trade today in the NBA. This one sent Kyle Kuzma from the Washington Wizards to Milwaukee in exchange for Chris Middleton. Bucks sit number 5 in the East. That was their trade today. We are not done. I thought this was an interesting piece this morning, JJ. Golf, the U.S. Open is the first of the major tournaments, the 4 majors, to publish a direct pathway for live golf players to get in. So this morning, the U.S. Open announced one exemption for the leading player on the live who hasn't already qualified to get into the U.S. Open. So this exemption category will include 1 spot this year from the May 19th live standings. And next year, they'll take 2. this is the first of the majors that have recognized LIV, that have created exemption, a path for a LIV golfer. So I think it's relatively significant. And while the door's not wide open, there's a way in. PGA Championship has invited LIV players to the past based on world ranking. Like in 2024, Taylor Gooch got in. Sergio's gotten in. The Masters invited Joaquin Niemann each of the last 2 years based on his international play. But I think this is relatively significant. I don't understand still where golf is.
Wasn't there supposed to be some type of
kumbaya?
Hey, it's all good now.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't feel like it is, and it's still the same.
Yeah, we're all coming together. Yeah, I don't know, but that opens that up. I'll tell you, this is impressive. Rory wins at Pebble Beach on Sunday. There he was in Florida yesterday playing
Private
the golf
jets,
league.
baby.
They're the best thing ever. Yeah. There he was playing in the golf league. They got smoked. Was he on LA? No, he was in green. He was on the Boston team.
Boston, yeah.
They got smoked 5-0, I think, by the LA Golf.
Well, losing in the golf league hurt Rory's legacy. Coming up next, the Sports Hub.
You know, winning a title in the golf league, to me, like, it's cool and all, but it's like hanging a banner to win the in-season tournament.
What I like about it is it's what LIV Golf was going for, but
something different.
It's easier to do it in this. Hey, we're just gonna have fun. You can compete. It's like playing around with your boys. 18 on Sunday, versus like the tournament where you don't get that kind of interaction. 4 days in Greensboro. Like, it's just fun going at it. You're having weird rules, you're throwing hammers at people or hitting them with sledgehammers, whatever it may be, and just hitting into a screen.
It's like going over to Pars and Rec and hanging out with your buddies and playing golf and it just hitting balls. And yeah, they got a lot on the line and there's money on it. And it's but it's cool and it's different and if it's not your thing, man, don't make it your thing.
That's kind of what golf needed, as opposed to just thinking
another tour.
Hey, we're gonna play 3 days no cut, and guess what? We can wear shorts.
And we'll have a shotgun start. Yeah, 100% right. Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I kind of, I had it on the background yesterday, flipped over, watched some hoops. But it's cool. And yeah, it's like going down to Pars and Rec and hitting balls indoors and playing, and it goes quick. I've enjoyed it, but if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I'm cool with that. Signing day today. I think Jason X is going to be with us tomorrow. I'm looking forward to having some conversation with Jason X tomorrow. Global football coach.
Heck yeah, man.
You got a general manager. You're going to get a list of names on a sheet today. As somebody at the top of one of the leagues told me last week, man, well, I say at the top, one of the league administrators, a league administrator, said, wow, New Mexico's putting together an FBS All-Star team. And maybe that's right, and maybe that's good enough to win, because if you look around at all the former FBS players who transfer and make significant differences wherever they go, I don't know, man, what are they, got 10, 12 of them on there? A quarterback, running backs, edge rushers. Can it make a difference? We'll see. But we're going to see. But Jason X is going to be with us, I believe, tomorrow. Friday's going to be packed, isn't it?
A little busy.
Yeah, Friday might be. 505-246-0610 if you want to get here still. Well, I guess we're out of time on this. And trying to track down Wilma Estes, one of the senators who is sponsoring that NIL bill, to try to get you all some money. Get some money for NIL. And again, look, man, I get it. Nobody's saying we don't need police or pay the teachers or take care of homeless and doctors and all that. All that's right. We can still have nice things too. And there's enough money in the state where we can help UNM and New Mexico State with NIL and still take care of those problems. So we'll talk about that as well. Jim Rome Show is not next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. 2 men on, then the Jim Rome Show at 1. 2 men on from New Orleans, Super Bowl. Join Van and Fred at 4 o'clock. Lobo basketball tonight over on News Radio KKOB. I'm in for Robert tonight. Hunter and I will crack the mic at 8 o'clock of the pregame show, and tip-off will be at 8:30. Adrian, great work. Appreciate you. It looks great on the visuals. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other. We're back at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you then.
Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by